Hello, my name is Shadley and welcome back for another episode of Tour 3 as Merina Kingdom. The past few episodes have been quite calm. I mean, we're slowly building up our nation, admittedly, and time is ticking. We're managing to pass some of the laws. I don't think that will pass. Nope. Okay, so interventionism is a no-no. There might be some other laws that we could maybe pass. We could even go for non-migration controls, but I don't know if that's the best option to take right now. It's got 13% chance of passing. Rural folk would hate that. National militia. There's a movement for it, I suppose. I mean, that would at least remove the... oh, that would reduce the armed forces political strength there. Barracks max level would be only 5. We'd be able to have a lot of conscripts, I suppose. I don't know, I think we'd rather go for the professional army, to be fair. So we don't really want to pass that one. Don't want to touch the serfdom. Like, we definitely want to keep that in, and migration controls, like, that's one of the only laws that we could pass with this government. Of course, we could reform the government once again. I mean, suppose the... If we have a look at the agrarianism, so who's going to be supporting that? Industrialists and rural folk. So we could probably keep them in power for now, and just let the legitimacy go up a little bit. So if we just... or rather get the industrialist cloud up a little bit in the meanwhile. So we're getting a fruit plantation in northern Madagascar. I'm hoping that that's going to be fine. I mean, how's the fruit price anyway? Well, it's not too bad. Oh, did the Heavenly Kingdom... Oh, I think they got their independence. Yeah, that's a different group. Oh, and hold on. Tianjin is now a treaty port for prison. Oh, they got a treaty port both to Heavenly Kingdom and Jing. And then, of course, Portugal had Macau in there, which I believe they start with that one. Oh, and the British are now starting yet another fight against Nosai. I mean, that hasn't really started yet, but it will... Hold on, is USA... No, they are part of the American market, but they are allied to the British. Okay. That would be fair enough, I suppose. Fair enough. As long as I don't need to fight them both. But I'm guessing if the British do declare war on me, then I will have to fight them both. Luckily, the next ruler that we have is not going to be of the landowners anymore. Unfortunately, that prince is only 7 years old, and the current ruler is 28 years old, so we've got a bit of a room to move in there. What do you have? Right, so you've got moderate ideology. So nothing too bad there, I suppose. Oh, there we go, now we're making some money. Oh, because we're not constructing anything. The private sector is doing all the construction. That's probably fine. They've got 1.4 million almost in the investment pool. So they're going to afford using a decent bit of that. And we can get sort of out of the debt here for the time being. We don't have massive interest rates yet, luckily, but we might as well let that be for the time being. Although, I suppose I'm going to build another level of university in here. It's going to increase the wages a little bit, but I suppose if we could just pass... Oh, raising concerns. You know what, armed forces, I know that I need you to pass the professional army, but beyond that, I don't think I necessarily need you to do anything right now. So there's the trade unions and rural folk are supporting the national militia. Which, to be fair, it would still be better than the... Or it would make the troops better than with the peasant levies. So it would maybe be a step to the correct direction, but we won't be able to have a lot of barracks. We won't be able to expand our militia, essentially. We might be able to make them slightly better, but that's about it. But you know what? Their support for it, landowners don't enjoy that, but of course that's going to start reducing their clout even further. Inefficient agriculture. We should probably follow their advice. Northern Madagascar is going to start potentially getting some immigration from the southern Madagascar, I suppose. So, I mean, both of these are growing at least, and the standard of living is averaging at 11.5. So overall, we are definitely making the nation a little bit better over time. But of course, we are a little bit limited on the resources that we have, so that is definitely limiting our options quite a... Oh, they're making a whaling station. Alright, so we get some oil. And quite a bit of meat, I reckon. I mean, how much is it per level? Well, it doesn't tell me right now there. I suppose if we have a look at through... No, it would be over here. So it's 10 oil and 5 meat. Okay. So the oil can be used in heating, for example, by the people. So that's at least something for them to do. We're going to university. That's going to give us a bit further... innovation. Of course... Oh, hold on a minute. No, we haven't got on that one yet. It's the... Was it dialects? Yeah, dialects gives the philosophy department for the universities. But we're going to get the artillery in less than 2 months, and then romanticism, and then we'll go for the atmospheric engine, which is going to start allowing us to use the coal to reduce the workers needed in places. Plus, I believe it also unlocks the atmospheric engine pump, so that uses a lot more tools, but we can get a lot more coal just from the same amount of mines. So that's already going to be pretty decent bonus for us there. We still don't have fleet. Let's go ahead and... oh, right. Let's... actually, before we do that, let's build a shipyard in here. I know that we're going to be spending a lot of money now then. So a shipyard, and then we'll build... actually, we can probably build them in here. 5 naval bases. Let's go for 10. It's going to take in a decent bit of workforce in there, but that's alright. So soon enough, we can start reducing the workforce. Oh, colonize Lindy. Alright, there we go. We got unlock the artillery at least. Now they're going further in here, so Lindy over here is going to be colonized by the British already. So even if we get to Africa, we're going to be very limited on to the coastline most likely. But technically speaking, if we could take the Portuguese areas over here and maybe Zanzibar, that would give us a bit of iron. And then what we could do, if we take this southern area here, we might be able to get into Transvaal and Zululand and Oranje and all that. Because in Transvaal there is iron, quite a bit of iron, and coal. Plus I believe there should be some gold, at least there used to be, and don't know if they changed that. There's gold fields over here, but not in Transvaal. There's discoverable resource, maybe that... oh, hold on a minute. Oh, coal mines trooper. Ooh, 10%. Okay, that's pretty decent. Right, so the National Militia might pass. Well, there's only 15% chance, of course, but it might. Now we've got a lot of construction. Of course, a lot of this is going to be built fairly quickly. We still got almost 1.5 million in the investment pool. So if we just stop the construction for a little while. Descenders break ranks. Oh. Alright, then we'll also stop this one. It was worth a try. The landowners, I mean, we could try passing the interventionism again. One more time. Probably not going to pass. Oh, landowners are actually quite happy right now. Let's have a look at our relations with the French. They are protective of me, so if... oh, and they're allied to Russia, okay. I could become a protectorate. Does that pull us into... we're part of custody led by France, created protectorate subject relations with France and Merina Kingdom. France is suzerain. Right, I don't know if that would actually... does the protectorate allow autonomous subject to be able to start their own diplomatic place? So we could do that. I mean, the French market, you know what? If we go there, they would accept that. Assuming that we can do that, because we're still close to market. So we are protectorate. But for how long? We're now in the French market as well, so I'm guessing a lot of the prices that we have are going to go... oh, but now we got... oh, yeah, there we go. We're part of the French market. We should have some access to artillery and small arms. So now let's go ahead and switch our troops to line infantry and cannon artillery at least. Right, that can't actually change yet. Because we still got the peasant levies. There we go. So does that actually... we're still isolationist. So I can't make trade routes. But we are in the market, at least for now. We'll see if it changes back, because we are still closed. But, you know, at least that gives us a bit of protection against a lot of the others. Although, I suppose a lot of the prices in our market sort of failed there. Romanticism unlocked. There you go, 5% prestige. We're still pretty far away from getting more of the... or to be able to set some interest. I think, technically speaking, putting one in Ethiopia could help, because we could then do a landing in here somewhere. A lot of these are fairly weak overall. Like only 5 battalions, no flotillas or anything, and I'm pretty sure their troop quality isn't anything to write home about. Yeah, it's just irregulars. So if we were to do a landing in Galedi, for example, and then start expanding further into Ethiopia, just clear out all of that, we'd get a pretty decent population base there. We could use that for a lot of military and decent bit of resources and industry as well. And now that we've got our own coal, we'd be able to get some iron in there. So eventually we could maybe leave the French market again once we are strong enough. But there we go. Standard of living has started increasing drastically. It's already 12.6. And we're getting the sugar plantation done in northern Madagascar soon. Although not that we necessarily need too bad. Although, is there anything that we desperately do need? There's probably a few things. Oh, and the shipyard. Right, we've got 2 shipyards now, don't we? So I'm going to make you make some man of wars. So that now that we are getting the naval bases, we will at least have some domestic production in case things go badly. So that will definitely help. And there's a... Shiwa has actually expanded a little bit in Ethiopia, but they haven't formed Ethiopia itself yet. And we got 62 innovation. We could... Oh, actually, is there any sort of immigration probably not happening in here yet? Not yet, because there's probably not a lot of pops that we've accepted. Like, there's one that we have, of course, but I don't know if there's any others that have been accepted at all. No, but the middle strata and upper strata are actually doing both fairly well overall. That's good news for us. Is there... Oh, the wine tax. Okay, that would be 700. Put that in. Debate failed. Okay, so intervention is probably not going to succeed again. Still losing a lot of cash. I mean, suppose we're building a lot of things in the military goods and all that sort of like is more expensive. But there is a chance that we can maybe get through all of this. Slowly but surely. And I suppose we do have a decent bit of investment pool. It's 1.6 million there. They're getting the whaling station. What else do they have queued up? A millet farm. Okay, that's not too bad. We still don't have the... Right, the atmospheric engine. Oh, actually, is the coal price any good? It's a little bit elevated, so we could probably give this a bit of a boost there. And then we've got 87,000 peasants and about 40,000 peasants in the north. So overall, we got about 110,000. Nothing massive, but it's a kind of good start at least. Or, well, I mean, we will be getting a bit more later. Could we actually increase the amount of barracks in here? Technically speaking, we could. Now, I suppose one thing that I might want to do is set up a arms industry in here somewhere. Ah, there we go. Official nationality. All hail king. I don't want to increase the landowners' political strength there. Assimilation and Malagasy pops become more loyal, or conversion and more loyalists from the animist clergymen. I'm going to go with the Malagasy pops becoming more loyal and more assimilation. That'll probably help a decent bit. But the landowners still have 24% clout there, but the industrialists, oh, they're down to 16%. In recognition of accomplishments, oh yes, industrialists getting more. There we go. So it should be going up. It's not necessarily going to be instantly going massively up, but it will increase the chances of passing the interventionism at least a little bit. And we're about to get the atmospheric engine done. Do we have anything else? No, we don't have anything else queued up. We might want to get something in the military. Like Napoleonic warfare is already spreading, so we'll take that one. Then we'll get something from the... I suppose democracy might not hurt. International trade wouldn't hurt either. I suppose we'll get democracy and then we'll go for the trade. To get at least a little bit of help there. There we go, atmospheric engine done. Let's go to the coal mines first of all and start using a bit of tools there. That's going to give us a lot of coal. So that's good. And then I believe we could actually start using the... Well, not there. Tooling workshop. No, that's the water tube boiler, I think, for a lot of this. Let's have a look at the urban. So is there any things that could be upgraded? No, not yet. So I think that was just for the mines, wasn't it? Alright then. Well, which we only have the coal mines. But regardless. At least we have that. Oh, and the industrialists have just suddenly lost a lot of clout again. So we are losing a lot of money. But we could have a decent bit of loans there. But I suppose what we could do, I'm just going to increase the taxes for a little bit to reduce the deficit. And then once we're done with the construction work of our arms industries, we'll stop construction work for a little bit and just let the private industries take care of that. They should have a decent bit of money in the investment pool. So they can afford paying that for a little while we pay off some of the loans. Because that is going to basically give us an extra £9,000 per week. But that will already be quite a significant change. I do wonder, if I was to declare war on Oman now, could I ask France to join? Probably not. Now, I do have the light infantry, whereas they do not, but our troops are still relatively bad quality. But Zanzibar would be a really nice thing to have, let's be honest. King intervenes. Intelligentsia would hate that, but I will take that because I want to pass the interventionism law, because that's going to then unlock the, or allow us to pass the better taxation laws, which will then allow us to, well, just have more money to work with. There we go. Arms industry has started. We've got the coal mine over here, operational, and we'll have a lot more coal now, which, to be fair, most of it just goes into the French market, so it's not really going to be that useful for us, but it's not the worst. The dye price is actually fairly high as well. So what are we funding there? Ooh, a steel mill. Interesting. We don't have quite enough prestige yet to become unrecognized regional power, but we should be able to do that in due time. I mean, GDP is now 4 million, so there was a bit of a drop when we joined the French market there. We can see, so we are just about where we were before joining the market, but at the same time, now we got access to so many more resources that we will be able to set up our own arms industries and such, and especially once we get like Somaliland, for example, or some other area. Actually, I do wonder, if we have a look at diplomatic place, so who's in Ethiopia? Oh, Britain is in Ethiopia. Alright then. So we may end up fighting Britain one way or another. We could start improving relations with them, to at least make them not hate us as much. So the arms industry, how long is that going to be taking? It's another 32 weeks before it's done. After that, we'll be starting to get some money. I mean, the investment pool is increasing quite nicely, so that's definitely good news for us. And the industrialists now have 15.2%, so we've got a 25% chance of passing the law. I think we might be able to do that soon, and then Napoleonic warfare is going to be done shortly. Well, in about 3 months or so, at most. 2 to 3 months. And then in society, we're going to get the democracy. That's going to lead into a lot of other areas, but then in production, we'll get... Actually, no, that society was also the international trade, so we can start making some trade routes into the market, which could give us a lot of money, and then after that, we could maybe, once we have access to our own trade... Oh, did the Maasai win again? Holy crap, but the British are now colonizing Lindy already, so that's a bit of a problem there. But Maasai is keeping them... Damn. Well done to them. I do wonder if I could maybe get to Oman and then start colonizing that. I could probably win the war against them. I mean, to be fair, they've got probably a decent size army. There we go. Napoleonic warfare. I can switch to the mobile artillery. Again, nothing massive, but it is better than nothing. So that's a little bit boost for our troops. I mean, actually, how much of an increase is that? It goes from 10 to 15. And we got the inventionism. Finally. There we go. So now we could try passing the better taxation laws if there's anyone supporting it. Oh, we don't have currency standards, so we can't actually do that yet. But now we could switch to the trade. No, actually, we don't have better trade laws available yet either. We don't have international trade yet. Alright then, so that actually means that we can't really pass any more laws. Let's reform the government to something that is a bit more legitimate. I guess right now it's just the landowners. But that way we can start getting a bit more loyalists, reduce the radical numbers at least a little bit. And all that. Over time it's probably going to be a better option. I do wonder if the millet farms now, if we go for the... Oh yeah, if we go for the orchards, that's actually going to be making more money. And butchering tools and get a bit more meat. Although the meat price in the market isn't all that bad. And hardwood... Hardwood is in pretty high demand, so we could probably do that one. It's going to reduce the wood production in our domestic areas a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. Is you uprising in Zanji? Oh. Oh, I don't think they can get troops in here. So they might lose this area. Okay, so the British are actually having some problems colonizing. That is good news for me. Because if I could take Oman, well, I don't have the colonization available yet. I haven't done the research. But if I could get the colonization and start colonizing some of the interior over here, especially like Lindy, to get the iron from there, and it does have coal as well, doesn't it? Yes, coal, iron, logging, and a lot of other things as well. Oh, now they've started colonizing Tanganyika again. Right there. Previously they were colonizing this side of the Tanganyika. I wonder if they're going to get yet another revolution over here then. Would be hilarious in a way. Oh, there we go. Armed forces are quite happy again, so that would increase our... Actually, ooh. There's a few things that we need to do. One, we need to get more administration. Put that in, so that is going to cost us a bit of extra. We just got a little bit of the money paid back again. There's a tiny bit of unrealized taxes, so where do we have the... Oh, is there turmoil or something? No, not really. But, oh, because of the bureaucracy. But it's not really that much unrealized taxes. It's 800, so it's still a decent chunk of what we are losing right now, but it's not the end of the world. And they should be built fairly quickly. Technically speaking, what I could do... There's probably enough iron in the market, isn't it? If we switch to the iron frame buildings, it's going to cost us a lot. It's going to save us a lot of wood and fabric, a bit more tools and iron, of course, but iron seems to be very cheap on the market. And then we'll just quickly build this one, let the private sector take care of the constructions that they want to do. We're a lot faster speed. And then we can start... I mean, they got 2 million already. Now, of course, once they start paying for all of it... Oh, right, they are getting now more. So actually, we're not losing quite as much with the interventionism. Oh. Angola wishes to enter a defensive pact. Sure. Angola is one of these here, isn't it? Yeah, the middle one over here. I can't really help you if you end up in a war, but... I suppose I could try help you. Okay, so that has been conquered already. So the British have been very bad at bringing troops into Eastern Africa, at least. Which bodes well. I suppose since they're not fighting a player, they don't really prioritize it quite as much. Okay, so 7 more weeks for the administration, so we can get some of the bureaucracy back. And that means that the tax waste is going to be reduced, then we'll let the private sector take over the construction. Oh, right, arts academies. Right, that's been something that was recently unlocked, isn't it? Well, they're building it. Oh, it's over here. I can actually... No, realistic art is not something I can do yet. So never mind, but we are getting the administration right about now. Oh, democracy unlocked. Good. And now the next one is going to be the international trade, which I'm hoping is going to start spreading. If not, then, well, we'll get that in 2 years. We have increased the innovation just a decent bit. Ooh, we could have up to 90. Okay, now we're making some money. £2,000 per week, so we can pay off the debt at least. And we are paying already 6,600 on interest. So as that starts going down, that's going to be a lot better. Industrial boom, that's very good for the money, of course. So prison is now neutral. If I can get them be happy, more or less, then we've got a pretty good chance there. We've got a very tiny flotilla. We should have up to 10 total, but of course they haven't managed to hire everyone yet. I think they are still needing a lot more... Well, both servicemen and officers, actually. It's good to see that there's no radicals among the Navy here, at least. But yeah, they're slowly hiring. Once they get above 4,000, I think that's going to be the 5th fleet then. So we do have at least a fleet to do potential landing into Zanzibar. Or we could do a landing in Oman itself, because that's less defended. They don't have even artillery there. Oh. Brunei wants a defensive pact. You know what? I will take that as well. So we got a bit of a pact forming over here. Anti-British pact, as it were. There we go. Now we're getting 4,000. Yeah, things are getting better. I mean, suppose we are getting more and more private sector construction done. So sugar plantations, logging camps, more coal mines, all of that is going to be making money. Of course, available population is going to start reducing quite drastically as well, so that's something to keep in mind. But I can just let the private sector take care of the construction right now. Once we need something, I mean, once we got enough income to maybe get another university running, I mean, we could probably do that already, to be fair. Let's get another university in here. It's going to cost us a little bit while we construct it, but it will be constructed fairly quickly. I mean, it's less than 20 weeks total with the current construction speed. I don't suppose there's any laws that we could pass. There's the agrarianism, which landowners do support, but no, I'm going to stay on the interventionism. No better taxation laws can be passed yet because we don't have the text for that, which it's the current standards that unlocks the per capita taxation. That's something that we should probably focus on. We could... Oh, right, it is spreading the international trade as well. Good. There's the mass communication for extra authority. The production, what are we getting? Fractional distillation, that's not too bad. Intensive agriculture would be probably a bit better. Military is getting the army reserves, which means more conscripted battalions. And then what I might want to do, actually, is after that go for the currency standards, then go for the colonization. Because I'm expecting by that point we've done all of that. We probably will have Zanzibar already. So if we can start colonizing Lindi slowly, then that'd be brilliant. I think we are going to go with the resettlement law. So it's not going to be quite as much friction between us and the natives, so we don't really need to worry about the fighting in there too much. And there we go. We got the university, it's slowly hiring, so we will be getting a decent bit higher on the innovation again. And we've got 30.6% literary rate already, so we are already, well, not quite halfway there to our sort of at least initial goal. But that's in like 32 years, so that's not too bad. Well, it's more than quadrupled the literary rates. They still got over 2 million in the instrument pool. We're using about 3,000 per week from that overall, but you know, it's not too bad. We are going to be getting a lot of construction done regardless. Oh, we got the steel mill, right, didn't we? Yes, it's in the northern area. The steel mill. Can't do any changes on that, but having the steel available... Oh, we did get the arms industry, didn't we? Yeah, so let's get cannon production. Small arms are very low price. Cannons have at least a little bit higher price. So that's good. And yeah, Great Britain's probably gonna... Oh, hold on. Oh, they colonized in here, now the British have brought in a unit. Are they gonna retake all of that? Oh, if they manage to do that, then that's gonna be annoying for the natives there. Yeah, they are gonna start retaking all of it. Unless they don't attack. Which I don't know if that's the case or not. If they don't attack, the British might not attack either. Just stop attacking. They don't have a general in there. Alright then, well, that's your problem. So another steel mill will probably increase the steel... I mean, how much is the steel price? It's actually not too bad. But having steel production on our island is definitely going to be a good one. And we could probably build another port in here. We've managed to get at least a little bit money back, but at the same time the interest rates are still 5,000, so we are paying quite a bit of money overall. But we can get the international trade soon. I wonder if they would accept my demand for independence at some point. Probably not. Yeah, they got a lot bigger power production for the army, so that's one of the things. We got good relations at least. But then the difference between ranks is also probably having a bit of an impact there. But we will get the international trade soon, and then after that we could maybe start opening our market a little bit. Go for the mercantilism. It's not really the best, but it will already give us a bit more room to do things. Industrial still only have 15% clout, so that's not great. But we're slowly working our way through all of that, and then how's the... So the heir is now 12 years old, and the current ruler is 34. Oh, there's cultural exclusion. Oh. Interesting. And we got the international trade. We could try passing this one. There's 19% support for it. Intelligence. Oh, actually, can we get intelligentsia into the government? It would probably be very, very bad government. Oh, yeah, we can't pass a law if we have them there. So, never mind. But we could try passing the cultural exclusion. That means that we'll have a lot more different cultures accepted, which means that we might start getting immigrants from other nations in here. Now, we will need to remove some of them, actually. How's the infrastructure levels in here? It's a little low, actually. I'm going to cancel the road maintenance anyway. I'm just going to start building a lot of ports in here instead. Start improving the infrastructure levels there. But if we can pass the cultural exclusion, then that's going to be good for the future, because then we'll have a lot more accepted cultures which are then allowed to move within the nation. Or from a state to another. Ooh, we can actually declare an interest. We could go for Ethiopia. Because then that would allow us to do potential warfare in there. But if we have a look for example, Galedi, I suppose we don't have the interest there yet. But once it is there, we can have a look if we could start expanding. We're going to be losing a lot of money with the construction right now. I mean, we are paying a lot of it. Or a lot for that with the iron frame building. But at the same time, that means that the investment pool will be utilized a lot more. Which means that overall, our economy will still improve a lot. We've got 1 million credit already out of the 2.5 million that we could have. So that's not a good sign. But I suppose once we get through these ports built in southern Madagascar, because we do need quite a few, admittedly. But once we do have them, the market access is going to be a lot better again, and the standard of living is probably going to start recovering once again. I mean, we're still 11.8, so it's not really bad. It could be a lot better. But yeah, after this law, if we can pass it, then we can try getting the trade laws. We should probably get a bit of more bureaucracy, but then we can start doing some international trading, which might give us a lot of tariffs. At least in theory. Especially just taking stuff from the French market and selling that. The tariffs would be a lot reduced in there. Okay, now it's 7.6 thousand interest. So even if we don't pay, okay, any for the construction, it might still not be fully realized. Thieves and liars. Minus 50 authority. But 50%, yeah, you know what, we'll go for that one. But I do realize that we are actually out of time for this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. But if you haven't already, I'll sort of have the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.